welcome back to the Chronicles of Football. This is our fifth episode, and let's get right into it. Today, we're going to be talking about accountability. Accountability for footballers, the professional kind, and the ones that are the face of the sport. Like Lionel Messi, Neymar, Cristiano Ronaldo, Suarez, all these guys. And so, just for some example, before we get into who we're mainly going to be talking about, let's talk about what's recently happened. Mason Greenwood is a Manchester United player. He's a very young player. He's in his 20s. I think he just turned 21 this year. And so he was arrested and, suspended from the club after an audio got leaked of him abusing his girlfriend. And so on multiple occasions this recording had. And so, after this came out, he was arrested. The club suspended his contract, and he hasn't really been in the news since then. And not a lot of people know what's happened or where he's been, such like that. But accountability was taken for his actions. He thought he was a big shot, a pro player, and he could do what he wanted. And so, and then people had to come and smack him in the face and say, listen, man, all rules still apply to you as well. And that is great to see. Someone that, is a pro player, was abusing his power, was faced with the consequences that we don't often see. But one thing that baffles me is that, yes, Mason Greenwood, great, he got the consequences that were coming to him. But a bigger player, such as Cristiano Ronaldo, they don't see those same consequences as they are the face of football. Now, if Cristiano Ronaldo did the same thing, abusive or whatever or whatnot, I would hope that the same consequences would come to him as they happened to Mason Greenwood. But on this past weekend, Manchester United versus Everton, Everton won. It was quite a heated game. It got very heated towards the end. And so Cristiano Ronaldo, which is on Manchester United's team, was obviously upset due to their loss. And on the way back into the changing room, he smacked an Everton fan who was a kid, smacked his phone out of his hand and stomped on the phone as he was walking back into the tunnel. And so, this is obviously not as serious as Mason Greenwood's situation, but as a professional player, the face of the sport, practically the face, one of the faces, I should say, of the sport, he should be held to some standard that he should not be going around smacking kids' phones out of their hands and stomping on them, and no action has been taken from his team, the league, or even FIFA. And so, players would get yellow cards and red cards for taking their shirts off during a celebration when they score a goal, and get suspended for a game. But if he smacks a phone out of a kid's hand, he doesn't get any suspension or nothing, which is quite baffling to me. And so other fans have recorded this encounter, and there have been many reports that the child of this incident had autism. Some people say that he didn't, but he was taunting Ronaldo, like making fun of him, saying, "Oh, you lost," blah 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 blah. And so there is many different angles, and this is fairly new, so it's not completely figured out. This could change within the next few days. But the day after this incident, Cristiano Ronaldo came out, apologized to the kid, and offered him 2 tickets to the next Manchester United game. Now, this is quite interesting to me because he didn't replace the phone. He didn't, do anything of significant. He apologized, yes, but that goes to a certain extent. When such a professional, high-regarded player does something to you, people look up to this guy, And on the other hand, he gave him tickets to a Manchester United game where he's not even a fan of. He's an Everton fan, so the tickets are practically useless because he's got no connection to the team. Why would he want to go to that game? It's it's something that he could easily offer, and because he's obviously a Manchester United player, and he just gave it to him. So personally, I feel like action needs to be taken, especially for these big names in the sport, um, because they're just walking around like nothing can happen to them. Especially back in 2015-16, where Lionel Messi was, convicted of tax fraud. He wasn't paying all his taxes. He was going to be sentenced to 2 to 3 years in jail, or he could have paid like 150 to $200,000 and just walk away from it. You know, so there's situations like that. There's many situations where they can just pay and get out of their, their consequences, for lack of a better word. So we really do need to see some change when it comes to holding professional players accountable for their actions. Alright, this has been this week's episode of the Chronicles of Football. Make sure to tune in next week for our season finale of the Chronicles of Football. It's going to be a great one, and we're going to have a special guest. So see y'all next week.